Hi everyone, I'm Jackie, and this is part 3 of how to make this adorable koala bear security blanket. The first part we made the head and we attached the blanket, and in the second part we finished the blanket up. So today we're going to make the arm and the ears and the nose. First we're going to start out with a magic circle. We're going to chain 1 to lock it in place. We're going to do 6 single crochets in that magic circle. And then tighten it up. And today I'm not going to use the stitch markers. I really don't like them. So I'm going to show you how to do it without using them and keeping track of your rows. The only thing, it'll leave a slight line, and it really doesn't matter in the arms and the ears. What I do is I'll go into the first single crochet. And this way we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. And instead of putting my stitch marker back here, okay, slip stitch that through. Okay, so instead of putting the marker here, I'm going to go ahead and chain 1. And it will raise the row up where you can tell where it starts. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put 2 single crochets in that stitch. And you should have 12 at the end of the row. Okay, so now we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the second. Okay, so there's the first single crochet in the second row. So slip stitch into it. Now chain 1. Now we're going to go back into it and do 1 single crochet. And if you prefer to use the stitch markers, go ahead and use it. I just prefer not to. They just get in my way. Okay. On the second stitch, we're going to do 2. Now 1 and 2. 1. Just continue that to the end of the row. Okay, now see, this is what I was talking about. You can tell where your row starts and ends. Okay, so now in rows, and you can also count your rows a lot better. 1, 2, 3. I really like that part. So now in rows 4 to 6, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So go ahead and slip stitch to that first single crochet, chain 1, and just do 1 single crochet in rows 4 through 6, and I'll meet you back here at the end of row 6. Okay, I finished row 6 up. Now I'm going to start row 7. I did my chain 1, and this on row 7 we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then a decrease in the second stitch all the way to the end of the row. So that's 1 single crochet in the first stitch and a decrease in the second and third, which is insert your hook, bring yarn through, go into that next stitch, bring yarn through. You'll have 3 loops and bring it through. Now 1 single crochet, another decrease, single crochet, a decrease, oops. Oh, I went too far. Okay, that's into row 7. Slip stitch into that first single crochet. And now we're going to, in rows 8 through 16, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. You'll have, 12 stitches in each row. Chain my 1, 1 single crochet, and just complete this through row 16. And if you want it a little bit longer, you can do a row 17. And I've already got one finished to save time on the video. Let's see. Be sure and leave a long enough tail to sew it on the bear. Okay. Now when you get your last row done, you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1, and make a knot, pull it through. And goodness. Okay, now set that aside. And now we're going to make, let's see, the ear. Now, I'm going to cut this off. Okay. We're going to start with a magic circle again. And you can go ahead and make another arm. You can pause the video. And let's see, we're going to put 6 single crochets in this magic circle. Sometimes this is kind of awkward doing it. There's 2, 3, 5, and 6. Pull your string. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets in each of those stitches. I'm going to go ahead and cut that short one off. A slip stitch, that first single crochet. I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to have a total of 12. There's 4, and my last 2. That makes 12. Make sure that's pulled tight. In row 3, we're going to do, let's see, where are we at? Okay. Okay, we're in row 3, so 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the second. Okay, I'll do my, well, do your slip stitch. One single crochet and then 2 single crochets. I finished this row up and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I'm at the end of my 3rd row. I've already slip stitched to that first single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1. And in rows 4 to 6, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. That's 1, 2, 3, and there should be 18 stitches in each row. And go ahead and continue, and I'll meet you back at the end of row 6. Okay, I'm at the end of row 6. I slip stitched into that first single crochet in row 6. Now we're on row 7. We're going to chain that 1, and in this row 7 we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and a decrease in the second, and continue that to the end of the row. 1 single crochet and 1 decrease in the second and third stitch there. Single crochet and a decrease. Single and a decrease. And a single and a decrease. And my last decrease. And I'm going to slip stitch into that first single crochet in row 7. Okay, now let's see, we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1, pull it. Now leave a tail long enough to sew it in. I always take off too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. Okay, there's your ear. I'll set that aside. Now we're going to do the little, the white part here. And all we're going to do, for that is, let's see my notes. We're going to do it just like the ears, only we're only going to do 3 rows. And you can pause the video and go ahead and do a second ear. So we're just going to do our magic circle, 6 single crochets inside. And my yarn split. Okay, now let me make sure I have 6 since that happened. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'll pull it tight. Slip stitch into that first single crochet. Chain 1. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. There we go. So you should have 12. Okay, so now we're on row 3. Slip stitch into that first single crochet there. And in row 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the second. I'm having trouble seeing the holes for some reason. There's 2. You should have a total of 18. So now that's the end of the white part. That's what I call it, but this is the part that goes in inside the little ear there. Just slip stitch into that first single crochet, chain 1, well, leave a little bit to sew it in. I make 2 of these also. And go ahead and make 2 of everything. Oh, well, we got to do the nose. Okay. And I forgot my black yarn. Okay, just a second. Okay, so sorry about that. I knew I'd forget something. Okay, remember to make 2 of everything. And this goes with the ear. And so now we're going to do the nose. And we're again going to start out with a magic circle with 6 single crochets in the middle. And I don't like using black yarn, but it's so hard to work with to find the holes, but sometimes you got to. Okay. And with my eyes, okay, so now we're going to slip stitch to that first, and I should have put an extra light in here. Okay. And so now we're only going to do 2 rows. So now we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to do 2 single crochets in every stitch around. You'll have a total of 12 at the end of the row.